need one more. Okay, if everybody would have a seat, we can go ahead and get started. We're a little past 5:01. What's that? I don't know. I don't have it. Have not heard yet.
Nobody signed up at the Children's Services Council yesterday.
Monica, do we have a list of people who've signed up? He's got the list?
They're bringing it to me right now.
Okay.
Take my motion back. You couldn't have it. Hey, you heard me?
What?
I'll take my motion back. You couldn't have it.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name is Beam Furr, Mayor of Broward County, and we're going to get started here. Before we get started, I just want to mention Vice Mayor Bogan will not be here. He had a medical issue, but he's feeling fine, but he is a little bed rest for a day or two. So he will not be here tonight. And we all wish him well, I'm sure. Okay, so tonight the Broward County Board of County Commissioners will conduct public hearings on the proposed millage rates, budgets, and special assessments that will support county services during fiscal year 2026. This is the first of two public hearings as required by law. The purpose of the hearing is to receive comments regarding the county's budget, tax rates, and special assessments, and to provide information on the budget and proposed amendments. The public hearings will be conducted in three sections. The first section will include public hearings on countywide and Broward Municipal Services District area millage rates and budgets, as well as the fire rescue and street lighting sub-district millage rates and budgets. The second section includes public hearings on the proposed special assessments for fire and garbage collection in the Broward Municipal Services District area. The third section will include public hearings on the millage rates and budgets for the county's dependent water control districts. An agenda listing all the items to be discussed, and the order of the items is available at the entrance, if you hopefully found one. If you're interested in addressing the Board of County Commissioners about an item on the agenda, please register with a county staff member at the entrance of the commission chambers. County staff is also available at the entrance to answer questions about the county's budget and taxes. If anyone has questions about property value assessment or exemptions, the property appraiser's office staff is available at the entrance and can also be reached at 954-357-6830, Marty Keir at bcpa.net, or in room 111 on the first floor of this building from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. The last day to file an appeal with the Value Adjustment Board, the VAB, to challenge your assessment is September 17th. If anyone has questions about the Value Adjustment Board process, the VAB staff is available at the entrance to discuss. With that introduction, let's begin. Aggregate millage rate. The fiscal year 2026 tax rates certified for the notice of proposed property taxes result in a 7.28% aggregate increase in property taxes when compared with the taxes generated from the aggregate rolled back rate. The rolled back rate generates approximately the same amount of taxes as the prior fiscal year, plus taxes generated from new buildings added to the tax roll. The aggregate millage rate of 5.7024 as compared to an aggregate rolled back rate of 5.3156 includes all ad valorem taxes levied by the county and its dependent districts except for voted tax service taxes. Voted debt service taxes. Thank you. I said it once. This aggregate millage rate is the basis for the state required advertisements concerning the budget and taxes. The rolled back millage rates and the percentage change in property taxes are based on the assessment roll certified by the property appraiser. Countywide millage rate and budget. The public hearing is open on the general county millage rate and budget. The proposed millage rate for general county purposes, as advertised on the notice of proposed property taxes, is 5.6690, which represents a 7.30% increase in property taxes as compared to a rollback rate of 5.2832. I would like to introduce our county administrator, Monica Sapero, to provide an overview of the proposed county budget and millage rate.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. As you are aware, this budget has been developed while several uncertain fiscal trends have been in the background for the county, with the most significant financial impact to the county's fiscal year 26 budget being due to the transition of the countywide tax collector. The fiscal year 26 budget process has been challenging, but our very dedicated and great staff have risen to the task. Today, we are presenting a budget for fiscal year 26 totaling $8.756 billion, which is $930.8 million more than fiscal year 25. The operating budgets reflect an increase in the amount of $428 million, largely due to increases in the BSO, law enforcement, and fire rescue contracts, the local provider participation fund, paid fully by private hospitals, the constitutional officers' general fund budgets, and included for the first time to coincide with the opening of the new convention center headquarter hotel is the Hotel Enterprise Operating Fund, which is fully supported by hotel revenues. It also reflects an increase in the capital budget of $568.4 million, largely due to the budgeting of the following major projects in fiscal year 26. A new Terminal 5 at the airport, the county's Emergency Operations and Communications Center, and other significant transportation capital projects. Finally, there's a decrease in the debt service budget of $65.8 million. I am pleased to report that the county has paid off all general obligation, or GO debt, and the amount of GO debt per capita is $0. The general fund budget proposed for fiscal year 26 totals $2.036 billion, which is an increase of $110.9 million. The general fund regional Broward Sheriff's Office recommended budget increased by $22.8 million, which includes funding for the second year of the salary adjustments for detention deputies and funds for an additional sergeant in the Central Broward District. Additionally, the general fund transfer to the dispatch contract fund for 911 services increased by $1.4 million. Those two items combined increases the fiscal year 26 BSO budget by $24.2 million, which is an increase of 3%. In addition, for the other constitutional officers, the Property Appraiser's Office recommended budget increases by $1.3 million. The Supervisor of Elections budget decreases by $3.8 million, primarily due to the different elections planned in fiscal year 26 compared to fiscal year 25. The Clerk of Court's budget increases by $0.15 million, and the fiscal year 26 budget for the tax collector increases by $65 million, which is driven by the 2% commission levied on the county, which includes the county paying the school board share per state law. That will be withheld by the tax collector in the distribution of property tax revenue to the county beginning in fiscal year 26. The budget proposes a series of actions to restrain the county budget, given the available resources while balancing providing services to our community. There is a reduction in the county's overall number of positions by 159, and the general fund agency's budget reduction exercise resulted in reductions in recurring core operating expenses of $20 million annually. Other recommended changes are to reserves to overall guard against future uncertainties, an increase in reserves by $6 million for emergency preparedness and shelters, a decrease in reserves by $10 million for government services used to offset a portion of the tax collector transition, and an increase in reserves by $40 million for emergencies and cash flow. To support the general fund, the certified property tax roll increases 7.52% when compared to the tax roll used for the adopted fiscal year 25 budget, but we do not anticipate this level of growth to continue. The fiscal year 26 total millage rate remains the same as fiscal year 25, with a decline in debt service millage and a corresponding increase dedicated to the second year of BSO detention deputy salary adjustments and to the general fund reserves. Part of this shifting within the same total rate will help the county build our reserves for emergencies, whether they are financial or rather weather-related. It should be noted that county taxes make up approximately 1/4 of the overall property tax bill. The increase in assessed value for homestead property owners is capped at 2.9% for fiscal year 26, and generally, homestead taxpayers will experience a slight increase in county taxes. For other properties, the change in the assessed value of each property will determine how much the property taxes will change. The final public hearing to adopt the county budget and tax rates is scheduled for September 16th. Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners.
I have 7 people signed up to speak. Do we have anybody else?
I believe there are 8, Mayor.
8?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes, you're right. Okay. Our first speaker is Mary Ann Pink.
I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Leona McCall.
I think I'll pass too.
Okay.
I didn't understand most of what she said.
Okay. The next one is Maurice St. Fleur Branchador. Branchador, you pass? Okay. Denise Falconer. Okay, we can't, do you want to come up and explain for a second? So we can help you out? Oh, okay. Was this for first-time home buyer? Okay, so, okay. So Michael Ruiz over there? Or who's going to speak? Who's going to?
Well, if we would, if we'd like
Okay.
to
Oh, I thought-
listen, we're happy
Okay.
to assist after she
Yeah,
explains her
I-
situation.
I came because I was trying to figure it out. They're trying to explain to me, the property appraisers and whoever. This is my first time buying a house. I was told that it will go up a little, but when I got the information from what it was to what it's gonna be, it's like about $6,000 or so more. Like, that's gonna make my mortgage way too high. I'm like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, what is really going on?
We have the property appraiser out front, right? Okay.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, there are individuals from the property appraiser's office that are right outside the hall, and our staff can help you to get to them, and they'll be able to explain that process and everything associated with your tax bill, and how the first-time homeowners assessment is addressed and handled. So they can explain it to you a little better, as their office is the one who handles the property appraiser's
Because I called a
tax
few
bill.
of them, and everybody just keeps trying to say, oh, they're going by the value of the house now that you bought it, and you were getting credit from the person before, and I'm like,
When did you purchase it? When did you
just,
purchase?
October 2024.
So in January 1st of 2025, they reassessed you because you applied for a new homestead. So what happened is the older person that owned the last person that owned the house, sold the house, you bought it and applied for a new homestead, which under state law means the property appraiser has to come out and reappraise based on January 1st. So the value went up of the home because maybe that person owned it for a while or whatever it is,
That's what
and
they
you
said.
ended up getting stuck. Many times the realtors don't explain that. It's on Broward's BCPA's webpage, but it comes as quite a shock the first go-around. But you should speak to them in the property appraiser's office, and they can walk you through the appraisal.
And you do have the right to appeal it.
Yeah, and you can appeal.
Yes.
Yeah, they told me all of that. But-
So go ahead and do it. And let us know how it goes. All right,
Okay,
please.
okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Can we
Okay,
follow that?
They're right outside.
No, but can we,
Sun Jin.
after she talks, then can we follow up on her resolution?
Yes.
Just to track and see how we gauge things in the future,
Yep.
and maybe we can ward off something like this in
And
the,
let people know ahead of time.
yeah.
Yep,
Thank you, sir.
good idea. The next speaker is Corrine Llewellyn.
Hi. So, I just have a few things to say that I understand the law is the law, and we all have to pay taxes. But the bottom line is, I bought my house in 2005, and I'm paying a lot of taxes. And I believe that, I'm just telling you how I feel. If I buy my house, and I'm gonna be frank, with my blood, sweat, and tears, and save up my money, and find a realtor and buy my house, why is it that I'm being assessed so much tax? I mean, No one gets this amount of pay yearly in order to do it. It's almost impossible. And it's not only me, all my neighbors, they're living in fear of being kicked out of their house because they can't pay their taxes. I believe if this is your sole home, you should be able to live in your home in peace, and you should not be taxed. That is your refuge, your exhale, your life. Right now, I can't even sell my house to move anywhere. And it's unfair. And I'm speaking for everybody here in this county that is in their homes and having sleepless nights because of this. And all I hear is, we have to pay this one, we have to pay that one, and who's gonna pay us? When I don't pay my taxes this year, they're gonna sell my home and I own my home for 20 years. No one should be able to go through that. The governor wants a resolution for this, and everybody's just, it's business as usual. And the only people that are talking about this to pay they're the only ones that could pay it. Because we, in Broward County, we can't pay it. I believe, if you could afford to pay the tax, pay it. But there are those who that are working hard, 2 jobs, renting their house when they're in fear living in their house with strangers. I mean, I'm speaking for a lot of people here, and it's unfair. You own your home, you go and you buy it, you should not be taxed when it's your main home. People only buy a condo for $100,000, and they're paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for taxes, and by a couple years, they're gonna pay in taxes what they buy for the property just to have somewhere to live. Like, where's the humanity here? It's gone. And this is something that we have to stop, and everybody's pointing fingers. Come down to the commissioner, go down there to the tax office, go here, go to court, and then, we're gonna take off $1,000 this year, and we're gonna put it back on this year. Why are we playing all these games? There has to be a resolution for this. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I am sorry, but I have to come up here to say this. This is my 2nd year here. I'm gonna keep on coming. I'm just gonna have to. And what I'm gonna do what you guys tell this lady to do, go to court, and then probably I'm gonna have to go outside to another court. Maybe I'm gonna have to maybe I'm gonna have to get some petition, because if you buy your house for $100,000, you shouldn't have to pay taxes. I could understand if you're an investor, you own 3 or more properties, then you should start getting taxed. But if somebody bought a condo, live in their condo, go buy a house and rent their condo, they shouldn't. How much money are you gonna make?
Thank you, Ms.
You're
Llewellyn.
trying to help someone somewhere to live. It's not even right. There has to be a solution, and I'm begging you guys on the panel, you have the power to change this.
Thank you, Ms. Llewellyn.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, can I ask her a
Yes.
question? Ma'am, can you come back? I have a question for you.
Hold on one second. Ms. Llewellyn, if you want to come back, one of the commissioners would like to ask you a question.
Question, because if you go back to the microphone, do you have a mortgage on your home?
Yes, and my
Okay,
taxes
but-
is more
well,
than my mortgage.
Well, because my question is, first of all, your taxes haven't been going up more than 3% a year, have they?
At this point,
They should not have been able to because
At this point, I don't even know, but I know
Okay.
my
Well,
taxes are
ma'am,
more.
look-
And I can't even insure
Okay.
my house to cover my
Well,
house if it
that's what
blows
I-
away
Okay, ma'am.
because of this.
What I was going to say is, I know because of the Saver Homes, property taxes can't go up more than 3%. And as you'll hear somebody, we're paying half of our general revenue to BSO. We're paid for all of the services that, they do have to be paid for. But my question to you is, frequently when people come to me and say, my taxes have been going up on my home 7, 8, 10% a year, and I say they can't, and I look, I find it's not their taxes, it's their mortgage, because it's frequently the insurance rates that have been
No.
going up so high.
I have the bare minimum for my insurance. I don't care if my house wants to blow away now, because the bottom line is, the bank, I'm gonna get some kind of money to walk away with, but guess what? If I don't pay my taxes, it's gone forever.
Well, all
I'm
right.
sorry, I understand what you're saying about the budget, but like I said, everybody has a budget, and it's not right that I feel like I'm getting taxed out of my home. It should not be. I bought my house, and I'm the only lien holder on this property. And this is not I'm not on here on a promotion. I'm here to stay for good.
And
And
you are-
I
and
should
you
be
are-
able to live in my house in peace. You guys have to change your budget.
You-
There has to be changes to the budget, and nobody's willing to do that.
Ms. Llewellyn, you do have homestead exempt?
Yes, I have homestead.
just wanna make sure.
The bottom line is, forget about homestead. Whoever owns their house, this is your main house. You should not have to be taxed on it. Whoever came up with this didn't intend for anybody's taxes to be 7,000. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
And no one is here is gonna be able to convince me of it. It needs to stop.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Llewellyn. Next speaker is Spencer Lasdy. Hopefully I got that right.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if this is germane to the particular topic, but what is Broward County doing to fund flood resilience and to mitigate flood damage? Over the last couple of years, we've had some pretty serious flooding, and this is a pervasive issue, suburbs, urban, coastline, everybody. So just real quick, if there are any line items that you'd like to direct our attention to, I'd very much appreciate that. And if it's not germane for this topic, could you tell me when to pay attention again? Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
I would recommend the Broward County Water Advisory Board, which I chair, is having a meeting, I think, about a week from now. I can check my calendar. We meet monthly. The meetings are taped. If you look at those meetings, you'll hear extensive information on what the county is doing, what we are funding, and you're welcome to come to one of our County Water Advisory Board meetings. And we always have public comment in those. That would be a good time to do this. But again, if you just look at the videos, many of your, or most of your questions will be answered.
Appreciate that. How can I get in contact with you so I could attend one of those meetings?
Where do you, well, let's figure out who's commissioner.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Who's, do you know where do you live?
Flagler Village, downtown.
Downtown? Who's? Commissioner Fisher?
Yeah, that's my district, sir. Yes, sir. So
Okay.
this gentleman built the neighborhood when he was the city commissioner. So when you get to my office, Mabel Hurtado will get your information, and we'll get all the information you need to get you set up on how to view the items, how to view the meetings, and also attend them as well, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I
thanks for
was
being
just reminded, sir, specifically, the Central and South Florida Flood Resilience Study meeting will take place on September 9th in the city of Oakland Park. And I would recommend, I don't have the address, well, I do have the address, actually, if I switch, but you should attend that meeting, and you'll hear extensive information.
Or ask Commissioner Fisher for that information, and he'll get it for you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. Next speaker is Bill Owens.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Owens.
Good evening. This is my first time here. And
Welcome.
I've lived in Broward County since 2013. And I got to tell you, it's getting pretty tight around here. It's getting real uncomfortable. I have to live within a budget. I'm sure every person in this room has to live within a budget. I'm sure there's people in here that clip coupons, use Groupons, do all kinds of things to make their house and their lives so they can afford to live in Broward County. My concern is multiple things. First and foremost, you have these meetings at 5 o'clock. I understand we all work, but it's rather inconvenient for the populace of this county to get here at 5 o'clock.
We're required by state law.
Okay, well, that's a good answer. Thank you. Now I
the only
understand.
answer
Is that at 5 o'clock is when it's?
5:01
5:01? Okay, and it has to be
Ju-
on that time?
on that
After
time.
5 o'clock,
After 5 o'clock? Anytime
Yes.
after 5 o'clock?
after 5 o'clock.
Oh, I always thought it was 5:01.
So we could have it at 6 o'clock?
Yes, it could be scheduled later.
Oh, I
It
didn't
could be
know that.
scheduled later.
Okay, that's
Well,
interesting.
that's something I would like to have, table, I'd like you guys to discuss it at some point in time, because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Our taxes are going up. You all sit up there and say, it's only 2.9%. It's only 3%. Well, that's a lot over 10 years, over 5 years, whatever it is. It's too much. I don't understand why the county can't tighten their belt, okay? Irregardless of what public service contracts are, whatever's going on, these palaces that we keep building for the city, for the city employees, for city workers, for whoever, but we have to really tighten our belts and find out where this money is actually going and is it being spent wisely. We have a tendency to bend over backwards for new construction, disregard parking, and yet these people get tax breaks and incentives to put up new construction, and yet the taxpayers are there holding the bill. I don't think that's fair. All I wanted to say was that we have to hold the line. I'm disappointed that my taxes keep going up. As the woman spoke very nicely and said, enough is enough. If you own your house, nobody should have to come for it. Nobody. And hopefully things will change. But I don't understand why Broward County couldn't say, guess what, folks, there's no increase. We're going to give 10% back. You guys couldn't find 3%? You got to up my taxes 3%? The county couldn't find 3%. You couldn't find 3% with everything that's going on here, with all the new people that flooded into this area, with all the houses going to full valuation. I don't understand it. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. Next speaker is Aaron Gonzalez. Good evening, Mr. Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Aaron Gonzalez. I live in Broward County with my wife, who's a teacher in Broward County, and a newborn child. I'm here to respectfully urge the commission to adopt the rollback rate for the fiscal year 2026. While the millage rate is held flat at 5.6690, the rollback rate of 5.2832 would generate the same total revenue as last year. Choosing the higher rate is a stealth tax increase that will cost residents an additional $145 million collectively. The county's own budget shows where the money is going. Non-departmental spending is up $216 million, that's 30%, mostly transfers and reserves. Constitutional offices driven by the sheriff are up $85 million, or 10%. General fund reserves alone grew 16%, or $36 million. Together, that's $338 million in new allocations, more than double what rollback requires. Much of this new revenue is not directed towards core services. For example, the fiscal year 26 budget includes a new tax collector office with an $80 million budget, without clear offsets from the prior year functions. There's large reserves increasing despite already high balances. Major capital expansions such as the $138 million Emergency Operations Center and an $89 million 911 facility. While the community needs parks and libraries, they grow only modestly. Rolling back would not require cuts to essential services like the police, fire, or EMS. The rollback gap can be achieved by delaying or scaling discretionary projects, trimming administrative growth, and adjusting reserves. Broward families are being stretched by rising housing costs and insurance. We ask that you show fiscal discipline and adopt the rollback rate to protect the residents while still funding essential services. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Our next speaker will be Matthew McIntosh. And this is our final speaker.
Hi, good evening, Commission. I just want to note first, the door downstairs is locked from the ground level, so given this is a public meeting, it should be a bit more accessible. There was a guy that was on the phone that had opened the door for me and said that the building was closed, so if I just took his statement at face value, I wouldn't have thought that the meeting was happening at this building today. And I do also want to emphasize the meetings are generally not at a good time for the working public. It's usually 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. I work a typical 9 to 5 job. So, I mean, this is the first meeting I've been able to attend since I've been living here. With that said, once again, my name is Matthew McIntosh. I'm on the Plantation Planning and Zoning Board. The Primo Plan often comes up when considering new developments being done along the Primo routes. We're looking to have those developments with less parking or even no parking to help keep the development costs down because we're in an affordable housing crisis. The issue is, I believe BCT was supposed to have a COA done for December of 2024, like it was supposed to come out December 2024, and at a recent, I believe, the tax oversight, the surtax oversight committee at the last meeting had heard from somebody on the board that they still don't have the COA done, despite it being due in December 2024. And
when you're saying COA, you're meaning certificate of occupancy?
no,
What's the COA? What is COA?
I believe it's the cost analysis or cost of operations analysis for the Broward County Transit.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to say there. Might be off by letter, but that's generally where we need to be. I believe there was supposed to be a bus route redesign once that COA comes out, and then that's when we can start like moving all the money that we have in a bank account with the surtax. But the issue is, this is just not being done. And it's a consistent pattern where BCT is not releasing like any plan. They don't seem to have an idea of what's going on with the money, and the money is just sitting there in a non-interest accumulating bank account. So it's like we're losing value with the money that we've been paying since 2019. So we need, in order for the Primo Plan to be successful and for people to get their money's worth, we need to focus on this. We need to focus on the stuff that can get that money working for us. So I would say focusing on the smaller projects that are doable, like the buses, rather than trying to get the train across the river. I know all the controversies of that and how Brightline and the FECs like fighting up each other. So while all that stuff is going on, let's focus on what we do have control over. We do have control over the bus routes. We do have control over the roads that the counties and the cities have ownership on. So let's just focus on that. It doesn't need to be a giant project. It could just be like small incremental improvements. So that would be my ask, along with kind of maybe having these county commission meetings happening at 6 o'clock. That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, is there anyone else from the public that wishes to speak? Come on. Can we have one person up? We need a, we'll make sure you have time.
We'll get his information.
Okay.
If you'd like to entertain
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, come on up. You can fill out the thing afterwards. Okay?
Me too.
Okay.
Okay, hello, this is my first time here. I'm not sure the proper protocol.
Just tell me your name.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown of my situation that's dealing with the taxes.
Okay, just tell me your name first.
Lewis Campbell.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, my house was built in 1953, a total of 600 square feet. In that 600 square feet, you got 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living room. This area here is bigger than the house. You got it, or whoever has it valued at $435,000. I put it up to try to see what I would get for it. $250 is the most I was offered. My taxes with homestead is $8,400. I'm trying to understand how is that possible. Anybody know anything about Sanders Park? That's where it is.
Okay.
They went in there, I guess, in the 50s, built these little matchbox homes. Of course, throughout the years, people added, a bedroom, bathroom, or whatever. But there's not a home in that area worth for $500,000 for me to be paying that kind of money with homestead.
Yeah, I think you're probably a very good candidate for value adjustment board. And outside is property appraiser, and you can get the application and all that, so you can state your case right there, and
Okay, so with me letting you know what's going on, do y'all take it any further?
Question,
Commissioner McKenzie.
Yes.
when did you get your homestead?
Was it last year? Last year. It was a home that was left to me. I inherited. So immediately I wanted to put the homestead on it to keep the taxes from going up. My taxes are more now with the homestead than what it was without the homestead. And there's no way that house is worth $435,000 in Sanders Park.
So I think you speak to the folks outside. When you're done talking to them and you go through whatever process it is, if you don't mind giving me a call in my office, I'll give you my number. Give you my
Sure.
card.
Yes, sir.
Because I want to follow this, because I understand what you're doing, but the process or what we are basing our feedback on is what is written. I live in a
You live
house
where?
very similar to yours in size.
Okay.
I downsized. Paid $38,000 for it. It's now worth, I don't think it's worth what I'm being assessed. And I say this each and every time I talk about property taxes. And I think our system of how we assess is what's the issue, not so much what you're facing, because that house is not worth $400,000. The house I left was worth 500 plus, but this house, your house, and houses very similar to aren't. You got stuck in a house being willed or you the benefit of that house after someone else had it in your family, and now you're being taxed at the new
rate.
New rate. I mean, something has to be done there, I think. And I've been talking with, I get it, but the assessment is where we're dealing with all these issues that we're having here today, is the assessment.
Well, that and people not knowing ahead of time.
Yeah, but whatever happened with him just happened, but doesn't matter. By the time he transfers it,
No,
it's
but
at the new rate.
But if people knew that it was in your family,
Yes.
if they knew ahead of time to put it in as a joint account, then they are able to, if I'm not,
If you're on as a joint or Ladybird,
you're able to
yeah.
hold on to your homestead. But a lot of people don't know about that.
But when you go there, you want to try to challenge the value. And then Marty's pretty good
I'm
with that
just saying,
process.
I was only offered $250,000.
I get you.
When I wanted to sell it. So how did they come up with $435,000, saying that's what it's worth?
It's the new assessment for that area. So go through the process.
And outside is the property appraiser, and they'll tell you about the value adjustment board.
Okay.
And then
You said you had a phone number you're gonna give me?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a phone number. I don't want to get involved, but I'll get involved.
Mayor, is that Sanders Park?
Sanders
Pompano?
Park, yeah.
In Pompano Beach?
Pompano Beach.
Gotcha.
That's, whose area is that? Both? You guys can do it together.
But it's a county issue.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
You're welcome.
Mr. Campbell, we'll talk to you.
Can you fill out one of these things before you leave, right there? Can we give them one of these? Yes.
Good evening. My name is Brianna Reeves, and my question is, as you guys know, the new CFO has established a DOGE task force. So my question is, have you guys complied with the state's request to have that audit? What are the findings, and how is that going to impact any adjustments as you move to pass the new budget?
The answer is yes, we have complied entirely. Second, we have not gotten any of the report back yet. What was the third question?
How that's going to impact? So
Oh,
have
so
they
we don't know yet.
provided?
We don't know yet.
any ETA on when they'll provide you guys the
They
findings?
said
It said
60 days, but I
60
think
days.
that's optimistic, and they finished, what, 2 weeks ago or so?
Yeah, so probably around November. Maybe.
So the findings will come after the budget is passed?
It will,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Okay, can you fill out one of the things? Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mayor and ma'am, we gave over 55,000 files to them. We did everything that they had requested, and actually, they actually complimented us how cooperative we were, and whatever they asked for, they got. So we were very pleased with them.
Okay, you're welcome. Anyone else from the public? Come on.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Timothy Benoit, or Benoit, depending on whether you're French or not. I've owned a home in Imperial Point since just past my 25th anniversary. Been a Broward County resident since 1985. I would just like to give more of a common sense question. I have my proposed assessment here. The value of my home is different than the other problems going on here, and that is the value of my home has gone down by $43,000. So as a guy who's pretty good at math, I'm trying to figure out how my taxes are going up when my property value has gone down. And as my friend Aaron stated, this is a stealth tax increase. I think it's subterfuge. I think it's a money grab. I'm pretty dry behind the ears, and I've been to these meetings many times before. To me, it's just not logical and borderline unethical to ask for monies for some of these projects when you're talking about reserves, you're talking about buildings. You know, I don't see how my taxes are gonna go up when my value has gone down. That to me is not right. I hope you guys will think about that, because it ultimately is an ethical question. You either do the right thing or you don't. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, yeah, Mr. Benoit, I would suggest talking with, are you about to give him the thing? Okay, to Marty Kier outside as well, and his staff with the Value Adjustment Board, because I'd kind of like to, yeah, we don't set the values, but it'd be, he'll have an answer to that question. Yeah. Okay, did you? Yeah. Did you want to speak? Come on. Good evening.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Mayotha Francois. I became a Broward County resident in 2023, March of 2023.
Okay.
To reiterate what he was saying, the value of the home is not worth the taxes. And the questions I have is, what are you guys doing about the floodings, the water? We are located in Melrose. A month after we purchased the home flooded. The house is not worth anything. The house is very, very old. Unfortunately, like, that was the best price, but now it's like, it's not affordable. I'm pretty sure other residents fall behind with the mortgage payment because everything is added on in the mortgage payment. And I mean, what is going to be done as far as the taxes and the area?
Does anybody, who has Melrose?
What you need to do? See Mr. Walker, I think, is he still in here?
Mr. Walker?
We need to have one-on-one. We got something for you. All right. Instead of, your issue's a little different because of the flooding.
Yeah.
Took
Right.
place over there. And there's some funds that I know about in Fort Lauderdale. There's some things that we might have coming up, I don't know yet. Some funds that came from higher levels of government to address flooding in particular. We haven't figured out as a commission yet what we're going to do, but we do know that Melrose Manors, River Oaks, and those areas that got hit the hardest, and I think a couple areas in the BMSD. If granted the money, we're gonna look at that and see how it's divvied out. But I do know that Fort Lauderdale has something. Just sit with my staff and we'll figure out, and we'll answer the other questions you have.
And we're still suffering because the house has mold and we're still getting sick?
We'll deal with you.
Okay.
I don't think.
Can you
fix
fill
that
out,
here.
and then we can get your contact.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. With that, I think we're through public comment. Okay. Now that commissioner comments are complete. Oh, wait, first I'll take comments from the county commission. Any comments? We've had a number of thoughts. Anybody? Any comments from the county commission? Everything you've heard.
I think my comment's going to be consistent to what I always say. I think these assessments, these values are not real. They're real for people who can afford it and wants to see that ATM card or that equity grow. And we're more savvy people with real estate. But I think on the average, especially in some of the areas that I represent, fixed income folks. I know we talk about the homestead and save our homes, but the rapid rate of these values is going to drive a lot of people out of this beautiful South Florida sunshine. And I don't know what we can do, but I do, and I have spoken publicly about, I know we always say, and I said it at Fort Lauderdale, we'll hold the millage rate. I mean, I think it's time now that we really look at passing on some of those savings. It may not be much, and I think even in the last budget meeting, Monica gave us a scenario or a snapshot of what that would look like. It's not much in the grand scheme of things, but we have to do something. And we heard from a very few people in Broward County from all different sides of the county, east, west, north, south. I mean, and they were able to get here tonight. They were able to read up and understand a little bit of what we do here with our budgets. And I know we have been through our process, and tonight we're coming to vote on a millage rate. I think even in the paper, I think it was said that we're not going to change our rate. It didn't come from me, but I would really like to see what's the appetite for this board. Just pull back a little bit. I mean, we've heard the pleas. We know that the 7.5 that came in the increase from the property appraiser's office is going to generate millions more for us in this year. We do also know that there are other funding sources that will be taken from us, whether it's federal and state. We do know that we have to fund on public safety. We get all that, but I think there's room tonight. I think there's room this budget year to do something. What is it? I don't know, but I would like to see us, or see the consensus, whether we have a consensus, to go in the other direction.
Mr. Udine.
Like I mentioned at the workshop when we had it, so when it comes time to vote on the millage rate, I'm going to make the substitute motion to lower the millage rate to what Monica had proposed at the first budget workshop, which is a lowering of the millage rate. It doesn't get us back to the rollback rate. We're not going to go there, but we can't get there. But Monica brought us back a slight reduction. I said we should have done, well, whatever the millage rate numbers I have here. I said we should have tried to do this last year and even the year before, just to at least bend the curve as we go through on this. I happen to think this year's budget exercises that were done by our staff were done in good faith, and I think they did a very good job. We cut 159 positions out of our org chart. without anybody losing their job. There were just extra positions that were in there where dollars were getting funded there and then get rolled over into reserves from the next year. So I think we showed that, staff showed that they were able to do that. I think that the comments that I've heard from the podium all pretty much revolve around the same thing, that the process, and it's not from the 9 of us up here, we're basically following state law exactly how they bring this to us, but the valuation processes are very confusing and very arbitrary in many cases. I haven't seen this gentleman's trim notice that came up at the end, but I can almost guarantee what happened is he has had Save Our Homes for so many years that the values have gone way up, and now his value went down, but it's still not getting to the Save Our Homes amount. We're going to see more and more of that over the next few years when we come back and do this, and people are going to see their home values going down, but their taxes still going up based on the rates. I know that's what happened without me even looking at your trim notice, because I've seen that. I think that this year, someone mentioned the new tax collector office. Personally, I don't think we should have had a tax collector office set up. That was pushed on us by Tallahassee. It includes an increase of about $80 million in our budget. We were doing that service, and we were among the best in the nation at doing that in our records and collecting those things. I also don't think Miami-Dade County needed a sheriff for that, to build those kind of things. But this came from Tallahassee, and then they came down with their Doge thing to tell us, don't spend, the money, but they're telling us that we have to spend more money on these things that are overlapping and duplicative. So I think that it would be a good faith thing to reduce the millage rate to what Monica proposed at the first workshop. I brought that up at the workshop. I think we got to 4 that were willing to do it, and we'll have to see where, you were one of the 4. We'll have to see where, and so is Lamar. We'll see where we're at tonight, but it takes 6 people to pass a mill rate.
Okay,
If I can,
let me go first. Senator Geller,
okay.
okay?
You saw my
Then-
hand, Mr. Mayor, you saw me, right?
I did not, but now I do. Okay, we'll get around to everybody.
Okay.
Senator Geller, go ahead.
Thank you. I rarely disagree with my good friend Commissioner Udine. This may be one of the few places that I do. And the concern that I have an overriding concern, which is that the county and cities do an absolutely horrible job of explaining where property tax money comes from and where it goes to. I cannot tell you in the decades I've been in government how many people have come to me at the same meeting and say, we need you to spend more money on police, on firefighters, on parks, and we want you to reduce the millage. And can't do both. And we do a really, really bad job, and I'm working with county administration on trying to come up with documents that will do a better job of actually explaining what our budget is and where the money comes from and where the money goes. And I remember fighting back when Jeb Bush was governor with him, who kept saying, well, our economy is good right now. We're in the best economy, so we should reduce millage, reduce property taxes. And my response is that would be correct if you're prepared to increase property taxes when times are bad. Because one thing I can promise you is the economy is never going to go like this. There will be times where it's up, and there will be times where it's down. And if you are reducing millage so you have enough to get by during a really good economy, by definition, when it reverts to the average, you'd have to increase taxes to get back, and nobody wants to do that. It's easy and popular to cut millage, but almost impossible to increase property taxes. So what I have advocated, and those of you who've been on the commission have heard me say this, and I apologize if I'm getting repetitive, but I am repetitive again and again, and repetitively so. It is my philosophy, and this is a philosophy I've developed in a lot of years of government, that we should try and set the millage at a rate that is sustainable during good times and during bad times, and that some people say during good times you should cut millage. I don't think you should. Other people say during good times you should hire more employees or give large salary increases. I disagree with that also, because when times are bad, if you have added recurring revenues, either salary increases or a lot of new employees, you're not going to have enough to pay them when times are bad. I believe when times are good, it is, and I've heard several people complain about the reserves. When the bad times come, and they will, you're going to be awfully glad that we have those reserves built up. And I think that it is prudent, good fiscal management during good times to build up your reserves so you don't have to cut as deeply during the bad times. The other thing is during good times, that's when you should be doing your capital expenditures, building your buildings, because when times are bad, you can't. And you're going to need to replace fleets of cars. They don't last forever. Buildings don't last forever. They require maintenance. They require capital expenditures. Broward County is one of, I believe, 1.5% of the counties in the nation that have a AAA bond rating. We have acted immensely fiscally responsibly because we have not overspent during the good times, and we haven't had to do really deep cuts during the bad times because we have built our reserves. So, Commissioner Udine, I think you are an outstanding commissioner. I regard you as a close friend. We agree on almost everything, but not on this one. On this one, I really think, particularly since I am expecting that there will be reductions in property taxes, and if there are going to be state-ordered reductions in property taxes next year, we would be foolish to start that from a lower base. We should be at whatever the higher base is, and then if they demand a reduction, which I believe the legislature will reduce our property taxes, it should be from, it will hurt a little bit less. It's going to hurt if they do. And by the way, they continue to say that, oh, you can eliminate property taxes, which, by the way, are 85% of our general revenue budget, without affecting public safety, which is 50% or more of our general budget. I don't know what school they went to, but those numbers don't add up. So I love you like a brother, but will not be supporting you on this one item.
I think I'm an outstanding commissioner.
And you're right.
I think I may even be higher than outstanding.
You are.
Okay, Commissioner Davis, followed by Commissioner Fisher, Rogers, and Rich.
Thank you. I just want to echo the fact that I think a lot of it is based on educating the public on what these dollars do. It's very important that they understand that there are 31 municipalities, and I'm curious because they each have their own millage rate, and I could almost bet that the majority of the millage rates are much higher than ours. And so wherever you live, that's where you could start. And for those who may know, I don't know if you have any idea, County Administrator, as far as the municipalities that are within Broward County, what is the average millage rate compared to what the county's is?
So Commissioner, I do not know the average millage rate. We can get that for you. I just don't know it off the top of my head. But what I will tell you is that in Broward County, of the total tax bill, there is, the county represents approximately 25% of your total tax bill, and municipalities represent 26% of the total tax bill. The other balances of the tax jurisdictions is about 32% for school board millage rate, and then the last two categories are water management district and other districts is about 13%, and then the public hospitals represent about 4% of your total tax bill. So out of all of the money on your tax bill, the county's portion is about 25% of your total tax bill.
And I know from experience that there are several cities that are upwards of a millage rate of 7, some 9, some 8. And I think as a county, holding the line on the millage rate, which we are doing, is something that we should be doing. And so I'm not in agreement with lowering it unless it goes to the rollback rate, which we can't afford. And so I'm in agreement with keeping it as is.
Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. Number one is I do agree with Commissioner McKenzie in the sense of the assessed values. And unfortunately, what's occurred over the last, boom years is the home sales prices have dictated assessed values going up. So the gentleman, I think Mr. Campbell, talked about his assessed value at $400,000 on this home. If I was a betting man, I would say that there was recent sales in that area for $400,000, which ultimately, when they reassessed him, they go on what the past sales were in that immediate area. And that's unfortunate, but that's how the assessments do work. I was going to tell what Ms. Sapir was talking about. We have these fresh off the press, and I'm hoping, Ms. Sapir, they might be outside for folks to take, but it actually will give you the breakout of $1 and what those percentages go to that dollar. And she eloquently talked about the other government agencies that take out of your dollar that you pay for taxes. But this is a very good piece that kind of explains it in some elementary terms. Mr. Foster, you did a great job in your department putting this together, so I want to make sure that the public gets that handout. And then thirdly, I did support a rate reduction, knowing we couldn't go to rollback rate, but go to some type of a reduction, Commissioner Dean, at our last workshop. And obviously, I'm going to be supporting your motion when you do make that to see if we can at least give some relief. And it might not be much, but at least shows in good faith that we can lower our millage rate to a lower percentage. Thank you.
Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to ask our county administrator to tell me, when you proposed the reduction in our millage, what items were you going to be reducing? Because I know, I'll just make my statement now, that every time I turn, there's a request from someone for certain services. We have unfunded mandates coming from the state level that we have to pick up. And I just know that as we move forward, yes, we have to increase our millage to be able to provide for these various services. We have an aging infrastructure just like you have at your home. And this building, we were told how old it is. It was former Burdines. And we know it's not, we're not going to say it's not safe, but it's not a building that we can keep and continue to do maintenance on and continue all of those things that is required. But I can assure you, I'm not looking for a Taj Mahal. So I can assure you I'm not going to be voting on anything that looks like a palace. And I call it such because I heard folks mentioning that we're buying and selling and doing things that we don't necessarily have to. But I can tell you, we have to take care of the homeless. That's an unfunded mandate. No help from the state where that is concerned. Okay, we have human services. You hear the request for help in sustaining their properties, living in their homes. There are foreclosures going on. We are funding legal aid and other legal entities to help poor residents stay in their homes. Yes, because those are affordable sometimes. Condos, I'm always talking about the condominium association and what they are going through right now. They can't get help, and we need to be able to find a way, Broward County, to get a loan agreement with a bank or some other entities so we can get those properties back in the marketplace and be marketable. Those are some of the challenges we're having. I heard mention of the Primo plan and the interest from the surtax are not, we are not collecting any interest. It's not in an interest-bearing account. So I know you will mention, you will respond to that. Did you hear that? Or I'm the only one?
I heard that, but I don't think it's
I
accurate.
heard, I know it's not accurate, but I want for Monica to respond because it was stated that we have those funds and it's not in an account that is generating any interest. So I didn't want us to forget that. But I have, I'm for core services here. I can tell you what I like that is in our budget is that we're making sure that we have that financial capability program that helps our residents with different type of investment or just different programs that we are funding to help the residents of Broward County. Our senior housing affordability homelessness programs are critical. They're here, we're a tourist state. There are certain things that we must do to maintain those revenues that we're currently getting. So I see that there's a need to do certain things. I don't know if we can afford to roll back. I know that there are things that we must do this year and the next year to sustain our county, to keep us affordable. Hopefully our children, when they're going away to college, they can see their way back to Broward County because it's more affordable. Right now you're hearing Broward County is not affordable to anyone, all right? If you know, you see so many cars in driveways in our homes. So I am going to be asking for, I know there's a $26 million housing trust fund, and I'm going to ask that we consider $5 million of that to go into affordable housing. I'm not asking for everything, but affordable housing should be a part of that. I mean, it generates wealth for communities. It sustains folks living here in Broward County, single-family housing. All right? Before, when I came here, it was all apartments. I'm saying apartments are not the best thing for Broward County. It does not generate wealth for Broward County. It does not bring families closer together. Okay? They are moving outside of Broward County. And those are some of the things that we can do that probably will help us to generate the revenues that we need and will continue to need so that we can help. But you have to have a plan before you can just cut. And that plan must be affordable, and we must know what we're proposing to cut. So I'm just asking one question. I just need one answer right now. When you add that original proposal to reduce the millage, what were you proposing that we can reduce? Because you have to income, revenue, expenses, and we have to forge a balance. Thank you.
County Admin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioner, on June 17th, during one of the budget workshops, there was a slide that showed the operating and capital and debt service millage and how that is distributed and what the proposal would be to keep the millage rate, the overall millage rate the same, or if there was the millage rate for that debt service to go down a little bit. And the dollars associated with that, what I was explaining was, because there was a commissioner that had requested for that to be demonstrated to you all. So that was part of that presentation. So what I was showing is that $8 million was I was recommending to go to the second year of the BSO detention raises that you guys had discussed last year, the second year of a 3-year plan to do that. So that was $8 million. And then $1 million was going to reserves, and then the balance, which was another $500,000, that could be utilized for the reduction, the minor reduction of the millage rate. Now, in the absence of the consensus, what I heard during that budget workshop, in the recommended budget, that balance, that difference was put into reserves. So if there was the recommendation or the vote to support something like that, if that was the millage rate that was going to be proffered, and I don't know if that is the same millage rate, but if it was from that same budget discussion that you all had on June 17th, then my recommendation would be that it would just be taken from that reserve balance. I hope that answers your question.
Here in public safety, and we know what percentage of our budget that is. Okay, thank you.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think I've made my position pretty clear on the issue of the millage. We have one of the lowest millage rates around between municipalities and counties. It hasn't been increased since I've been on this board, which is over 8 years. And I feel very strongly that we're fiscally responsible here. We have reserves because you need them in emergencies. You look around at what's happened around this country with flooding and all kinds of storms, and we need to have reserves for many different things. But the thing that bothers me the most is our problem is really affordability. And whether it's affordable housing, whether it's homeless, whether it's seniors who have all kinds of issues, and we have been focusing on building affordable housing. And we are making a dent, but it costs money. We have some wonderful developments that are coming up now, and yes, we put another $27 million into this because that is the biggest problem in Broward County. And it is expensive, and no one is denying that. I think a lot of the fix needs to be in Tallahassee, to be honest. Just as Senator Geller said, I've been there myself for quite some time up there. And right now, we don't have a fair tax base as far as those that have Save Our Homes and those that don't. I mean, and there are some thoughts about how to fix that. And that is one of the things that needs to be done. That's not something we can do here. But when I look at the vulnerable people in our communities, and I look at the budget, this budget just holds the line, basically. And we have growing problems. We have more homeless. We have more people that have different kinds of issues. There's going to be more people without health care. We're losing federal and state money, and we don't know how much. We know we've lost quite a bit from HUD already as federal monies, and it's going to continue. So I think it would be really ill-advised of us to do anything but just to keep it the way it is right now. And I'm not saying, it may not be fair for everybody, but we need to work on making it fairer on a state level, I think. I also feel that we have been forced to fund the tax collector at $80 million. You've heard that. We have given additional raise to 3% for the BSO. I mean, and that is not what they want. They want a lot more, but we can't afford it. But we also can't afford to reduce the money that we pay to help people in this community. And so that's where my focus is right now, and I think we should just go ahead and do what we did last year and maintain this tax base. That's where I stand. So I won't be voting for that proposal.
Okay, my comments are fairly similar to yours on this. I actually still think we have a lot of unmet needs. I also hear on a daily basis how hard this is for people. I think all of us do. Because of the affordability crisis, because of the raising of values. I bought a $50,000 house, and now it's being taxed at $500,000. And it's like, those are crazy numbers for a lot of people, and for myself as well. We're all seeing that. But there's also a lot of unmet needs in this county, particularly on affordable housing. There's a lot of, I can just go down my street and I see how many cars are in some houses. And people are doubling up, tripling up. That's what's happening in this county, in many places. But today we heard a lot of people talking about what's going to happen on the flooding. We got a resiliency plan, and for the public's knowledge, that looks forward 50 years. That is extremely expensive. But if we don't do it, then all of us are out of here. But you're talking to be able to make sure that there's not flooding everywhere. Those are the kind of things that really need to happen, and we're addressing some of that. Those are the kind of things we're going to have to look at. This year we were repairing bridges all over the place. That was expensive. We're having to do septic to sewer, and a lot because the groundwater is rising, and you can't. If you have septic and you have, right, well, I don't want to get there. I don't want to go there.
No.
But if you don't do it,
You're done.
then you've got a mess. The tax collector is going to be having to stand up the DMV here now, but we're having to pay for all that. We never had to do that before. That's extremely expensive. And when you look at the human services that are necessary right now, they are a challenge to say the least, and they're not going to be getting easier this year, particularly with what's happening with the cut in Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, all those things. We are going to be asked to be the backstop this year. We're going to have to be the backstop because there's nobody else going to do it. They're going to be looking to us, and we're going to be the ones who do it. So for that reason, I'm going to be not supporting your, and I understand your position on this, and it's a valid debate. So with that, now that commissioner comments are complete, the board will vote to adopt the tentative millage rate and budget. It is absolutely essential that you vote audibly on each of the items so the record of the vote is clear. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-561 establishing the tentative millage rate for general county purposes?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second.
Mayor?
Okay.
I'd
Would
like
you
to
do
make
a substitute motion.
I'd like to make a substitute motion that we lower the millage rate for this upcoming budget year to 5.6674, which is the reduction that Monica brought to us at the June 17th workshop.
Can you say the number one more time?
5.6674.
Okay. So we have a substitute motion on the floor, and we'll deal with that first.
Second.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner Udine, seconded by Commissioner McKenzie. So we are going to deal with the substitute motion first.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? Okay. So the motion is, to be clear, Commissioner Udine's at 5.6674. Am I right?
Millage rate.
Correct.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have three in favor, Commissioner McKenzie, Commissioner Fisher, and Commissioner Udine. Those opposed?
Nay.
No.
Okay. Davis, Rich, Furr, Geller, and Rogers. With that, that fails to pass, we will go to the initial motion on the resolution. That is number 2025-561, establishing the tentative millage rate at, can you give me the number, please, County Admin?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The millage rate?
5.6690.
90.
The new, you're
5.6690.
talking about the original one as proposed.
Correct.
5.6690.
Right, thank you. Okay, so that has already been, County Attorney, I need help on this. Once you do the substitute motion, can I just go back to because it didn't pass, do I go back to the first motion?
Yes, sir. You're back to the motion.
Okay.
The first one that you read that references the
Correct.
resolution, as you mentioned, 2025-.
That's what I thought, just making sure. Okay, with that, there's a motion and a second on the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Raise your hands, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to
No,
compare.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Just one discussion on the motion.
Yeah, so I'm going to
So
hold
the
off on
county
that vote.
attorney, is it take 6 votes to actually pass the millage rate, correct?
Yes, Commissioner. So it takes 6 votes to adopt a millage rate higher than the rollback rate.
Okay. And so if, that would set the rate for our next hearing as well, correct?
It sets the maximum millage rate that the commission can levy, so you can't adopt a rate at the next hearing that's higher than that millage rate, but you could lower.
Could lower it,
the
that's my
millage rate
point.
at
You-
that point.
If this goes through today, we'll also have one more bite at the apple to
Correct.
get it lowered at the next hearing. Is that
So,
correct?
so if we pass this, it gives everyone a second chance to go at this.
Just want to make sure we had one more bite if we
Yeah,
could try to
yes,
convince some
okay.
more folks. Okay.
And my own, so that we can move forward on this.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea to vote for that, bring it back at the second one, and then we'll decide again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So all those in
Could
favor?
I just ask one
Sure,
question?
okay, yes.
Is there, the 5 that voted against this substitute motion, is there anything in between the 2 numbers that anyone would vote for, or there's just nothing other than what's in the original motion?
I'm pretty firm.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
try.
Okay, with that, any other discussion? Okay, so we are now voting on the initial proposal of 5.66.90. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Commissioner, so it passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-2.
I voted yes based on.
I know.
For the discussion, second hearing.
Thank you for letting us
Okay, so we can get into
continue,
moving.
Commissioner Fisher. Yeah. Thank you, yeah. Right. Okay, so that was 6-2. Do we have, everybody knows, we have the record of who voted for what? Yes, sir. Okay, we got it, okay. Okay, with that, is there a motion on resolution number 2025-562, adopting the tentative budget for general county purposes?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Motion by Senator Geller, seconded by Commissioner Davis. All in favor? Or first, I'm sorry, any discussion?
Only to say I'm going to vote for the budget because I think the budget staff did a good job with
Okay.
what they had. I still think I'm not going to revisit the last vote, but I do think that they did a good job with
Yeah.
what they had this year. Like I said, I think also Monica should send a letter after we're done with our budget process to this Doge group and tell them that we lowered 159 positions, that we held the line on every internal budget category, kind of like what I said at the workshop, and I think we should go from there. So I will be supporting the budget.
I just wanted to thank Norm Foster, our budget director, and of course, his large staff. This is Mr. Foster's last year with us, and, you know, I have nagged him incessantly to try and get the numbers because, again, as I've nagged county administration, we have to do a better job explaining our budget to the public. And I will keep working on that with administration, but I did particularly want to thank Mr. Foster in his last year of doing an outstanding job for us.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? That passes unanimously. Okay, the public hearing on item A, the general countywide millage rate and budget is now closed. Now we are on to the Broward Municipal Services District millage and budget. The public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for the Broward Municipal Service District to provide funds for municipal level services in the unincorporated area. The proposed millage rate for this purpose is 2.3353, which represents an 8.91% increase in property taxes as compared with the rollback rate of 2.1442. County Administrator will give an overview of the millage and budget for the Broward Municipal Services District.
Broward Municipal Service District millage rate remains the same for fiscal year '26. The county continues to invest in the Broward Municipal Service District, which is reflected in a 7.8% growth in the property tax roll. The average homestead property owner will pay approximately $10 more than the prior year based on the increase in property values capped by Save Our Homes.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public asking to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Now the public comment period is completed. I will take comments from the county commission. On the, okay, any other discussion on the Broward Municipal Services District? Okay. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-563 establishing the tentative millage rate for the Broward Municipal Services District? We have a motion from Senator Geller. We have a second by Senator Rich. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-564, adopting the tentative budget for the Broward Municipal Services District? Moved by? We have a motion by Senator Geller. Okay. Seconded by Commissioner McKenzie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Public hearing on item B, the Broward Municipal Service District millage rate and budget is now closed. We'll now deal with the Fire Rescue Municipal Service District rate, millage rate, and budget. Public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for the Fire Rescue Municipal Service District to provide funds for fire rescue services in the unincorporated area. The proposed millage rate for this purpose is 2.6191, which represents an 8.91% increase in property taxes as compared with the rollback rate of 2.4048. The county administrator will give an overview of the Fire Rescue Municipal Service District tax rate.
Thank you. The Fire Rescue Municipal Service District millage rate remains the same for fiscal year '26. The average homestead property owner will pay approximately $11 more than the prior year based on the increase in property values capped by Save Our Homes.
Is there anyone from the public here to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me just read this. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-565 establishing the tentative millage rate for the Fire Rescue Municipal Services District? We have a motion from Senator Geller and a second by Commissioner McKenzie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-566 adopting the tentative budget for the Fire Rescue Municipal Services District budget? Moved by Senator Geller, seconded by? Seconded by Commissioner Fisher. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Public hearing on item C, the Fire Rescue Municipal Service District millage rate and budget is now closed.
Can I just, sorry to interrupt, Mayor, just remind everyone to vote audibly on all of the items so that we can have.
Speak up.
Record.
Speak
up.
The public hearing is open. And now we're going to street lighting, sub-district millage, and budget. Public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for the street lighting sub-district to provide funds for street lights in portions of the unincorporated area. Proposed millage rate for this purpose is 0.3743, which represents a 10.81% increase in property taxes as compared with the rollback rate of 0.3378. The county administrator will give an overview of the street lighting sub-district tax rate.
Thank you. The street lighting sub-district tax rate remains the same for fiscal year '26. The average homestead property owner will pay approximately $1 more than the prior year based on the increase in property values capped by Save Our Homes.
Is there anyone from the public to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-567 establishing the tentative millage rate for the street lighting sub-district? Motion by Commissioner McKenzie, seconded by Senator Geller. All those in favor? Aye. Speaking up, that's good, much better. Any opposed? Thank you. That passes unanimously. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-568, adopting the tentative budget for the street lighting sub-district budget? We have a motion by Senator Geller, seconded by Commissioner McKenzie. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Public hearing of item D, the street lighting sub-district millage rate and budget, is now closed. Onward to the fire assessment for Broward Municipal Services District. Public hearing is open on the proposed special assessment within the Fire Municipal Services District. This non-ad valorem assessment provides funds for fire services in the unincorporated area. The county administrator will give an overview of the proposed fire non-ad valorem assessment rates.
Thank you. The fire assessment rates remain the same for fiscal year 26 as detailed in Appendix C to resolution number 2025-569.
Is there anyone from the public signed up to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-569, establishing the special assessment rates within the Fire Municipal Service District? Motion by Senator Rich, seconded by Senator Geller. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Public hearing on item E, the fire special assessment, is now closed. We'll move on to the garbage and trash collection assessment for the Broward Municipal Service District. The public hearing is open on the proposed special assessment within the garbage and trash collection municipal service district. County administrator will give an overview of the proposed non-ad valorem rate, assessment rate.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Single-family homes and multifamily complexes with 9 units or less that pay this assessment will experience a change for fiscal year 26. The rate is increasing by $20 from $370 to $390. As you are aware, the community is particularly focused on the challenges to and the costs of waste disposal, a national phenomenon. This, along with the costs for collection and disposal, results in this change.
Is there anyone from the public to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-570, establishing the special assessment rates within the garbage and trash municipal service district? We have a motion by Senator Geller and a second by Commissioner McKenzie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Public hearing on item F, the garbage and trash special assessment, is now closed. What's that? Yes, yes. We are now onto the Water Control District, number 2, millage and budget. The public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for Water Control District number 2. For fiscal year 26, the millage rate remains the same compared to the prior fiscal year. The proposed millage rate for this purpose is 0.1223, which represents a 7.75% increase in property taxes as compared with a rollback rate of 0.1135. Is there anyone from the public to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-571, establishing the tentative millage rate for Water Control District number 2? Moved by Commissioner McKenzie, seconded by Senator Geller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. This passes unanimously. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-572, adopting the tentative budget for the Water Control District number 2 budget? Moved by Commissioner McKenzie, seconded by, I know, seconded by Commissioner Rogers. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. The public hearing on item G, the Water Control District number 2, millage rate and budget, is now closed. And we move on to the Water Control District number 3, millage and district. The public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for Water Control District number 3. For fiscal year 26, the millage rate remains the same compared to the prior fiscal year. The proposed millage rate is 0.1325, which represents a 9.05% increase in property taxes as compared with a rollback rate of 0.1215. Anyone from the public?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-573, establishing the tentative millage rate for the Water Control District Number 3, moved by Commissioner McKenzie and seconded by Commissioner Fisher? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-574, adopting the tentative budget for the Water Control District Number 3 budget? Moved by Commissioner McKenzie, seconded by Senator Rich. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. The public hearing on item H, the Water Control District Number 3 millage rate and budget, is now closed. We move on to the Water Control District Number 4, millage and budget. Public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for Water Control District Number 4 and 3 sub-districts. For fiscal year 26, the millage rates can remain the same compared to the prior fiscal year. The proposed millage rate for sub-district 4A is 0.0121, which represents a 12.04% increase in property taxes as compared with a rollback rate of 0.0108. The proposed millage rate for sub-district 4B is 0.0318, which represents a 6% increase in property taxes as compared with a rolled back rate of 0.0300. The proposed millage rate for sub-district 4C is 0.1276, which represents a 6.24% increase in property taxes as compared with a rollback rate of 0.1201. Anyone signed up to speak?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-575, establishing the tentative millage rates for Water Control District Number 4 and its sub-districts? Moved by McKenzie, Commissioner McKenzie. Seconded by Geller, Senator Geller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes unanimously. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-576, adopting the tentative budget for the Water Control District Number 4 and its sub-districts? Moved by Commissioner McKenzie and seconded by Commissioner Fisher. All those in favor say aye. Aye. I know. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Public hearing on item I, Water Control District Number 4 millage rates and budgets, is now closed. We move on to unit area number 1 of Kokomar Water Control District millage and budget. This is the exciting part of the budget, right here. We've been waiting for this one. Yeah. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. The public hearing is open on the proposed millage rate and tentative budget for unit area number 1 of Kokomar Water Control District. For fiscal year 26, the millage rate remains the same compared to the prior fiscal year. The proposed millage rate for this purpose is 0.1363, which represents a 6.48% increase in property taxes as compared with a rolled back rate of 0.1280. Is there anyone in the audience to speak?
No, Mayor.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-577, establishing the tentative millage rate for unit area number 1 of Kokomar Water Control District, moved by Senator Rich and seconded by Senator Geller? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Commissioner Rogers, we're going to get you on this one. Is there a motion on resolution number 2025-578, adopting the tentative budget for the unit area number 1 of Kokomar Water Control District? Moved by Commissioner Rogers. Seconded by Commissioner Davis. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? That passes unanimously. The public hearing on item J, unit area number 1 of Kokomar Water Control District millage rate and budget, is now closed. There will be a public hearing to finalize the county's millage rates and budgets at 5:01 p.m. on Tuesday, September 16th at the Broward County Governmental Center East, room 422, 115 South Andrews Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. This concludes the Broward County public hearing to adopt tentative budgets, tax rates, and final assessment rates for fiscal year '26. Thank you for attending.